Okay, welcome to GVM Support Webinar number 4. This is the last part of the course administration 3-part series. Today's topic will be catalog management and repository management. Going first to the catalog management, we will discuss how to set up a catalog, setting up catalog permissions, how to clone catalogs and its contents, and also some things that are to do with catalog configurations. Now, going back to the LMS over here, we can access setting up catalogs from the Manage Center. And under Learning, you will find Catalog List Maintenance. Usually by default on a vanilla system, you just have that top catalog set up, and the rest you create, and the default public catalog, and the rest you create as you require. So in terms of how catalogs are used, catalogs can be used in multiple ways. So you can use it as a way of categorizing your courses. You can use them as your target to your learners, or you can use them in a hierarchical way that reflects your organization structure as well, and you hand them out to the different parts of the organization. So looking at how to create a catalog, what we do is usually if we want to create one at the top level, we right-click on the top, and we go Add Catalog as Child. And it asks for title, and that's the only compulsory thing that you have to do in this one. So we put a title, let's say title of test catalog. There we go. And then I can put some comments or not. These are more reference code. If you have this language option available in your version, you can select the language, and you can also type in who created the catalog or who is responsible for managing this catalog. This is more of an information type text box. And then you can choose to select how the catalog would look. There are a few set formats available. The most popular is format 3, which is the catalog picture and the courses laid out in text format. So we'll click that. You can also put a picture to your catalog. So I'll select a picture from the repository. And once you select the picture, it comes up like that, and you can click Scale to Fit. That resizes it to the size that the catalog requires. Save that. And then we save the catalog. And that's the catalog is now created. Now, if we go to our home page and we search for Browse Catalog, we'll see that new catalog is there with that image. Now, there are a few more things that we can do with the catalog. If we select the catalog that we have just created and go Edit Catalog Properties, we will now see 2 new tabs and checkboxes appearing. One is permissions, and another one is additionally grant permissions as defined in the parent. So what these do is, using permissions, I can target this catalog towards stakeholders. So let's say if I only wanted people from a certain organization or to have a look, I could select organization, or I could select the organization, and I say only people from this. They would. So these are the only people who would be able to see this catalog and see the contents inside this catalog. I can also have unrestricted access, which means these particular users are able to modify the contents of this catalog. Or we can also have organizations or roles targeted permissions as well. The next one we've got here is additionally grant permissions as defined in parent. If we check this, what will happen is if this catalog is a child of another catalog, whatever permission we grant to the parent catalog will drill down to this catalog and will override any permission that we set at this level. The other checkbox over here is allow users to access the catalog without logging in. What this does is it makes the catalog a public catalog. So users do not have to log in to the LMS to be able to view the contents of courses that belong to this catalog. Once we have created a catalog, we need to put courses that belong to that catalog. So if we go learning module and pick up any course, let's say this one, Capstone. We open it up, click on Assign Catalog, and we select our catalog, and we put it under that catalog. Now, it is possible to assign multiple catalogs to a course. So this catalog can belong to the test catalog, as well as, let's say, the health and safety training catalog. So what that means is when a user tries to search for this particular course, it will show up under health and safety, as well as the test catalog webinar. If the user doesn't have permission on the test catalog for webinar 1, but has permission on health and safety training 1, they'd still be able to access this course and enroll into it. The other thing we also need to check is the visibility of the course in the catalogs. If this is checked, this means that when users search for courses in this catalog, this course will show up. If I turn this off, this will not show up for learners, regardless whether they have permission on the catalog or not. So we'll click that and save that. Now, if we go to our home page and look at Browse the Catalog and go into our catalog over here, we see the capstone is now showing up. And as you can see, the format that we had set, it shows the catalog as an image, and inside the catalog, the learning item is showing up as a list. Next, we have is cloning catalogs. How to clone catalogs. So you can clone a catalog if you need to, and that is just done simply by right-clicking the catalog you want to clone, and you click Clone. And it asks for target catalog. So you can clone it to a new one or clone it to another one, to an existing one. So if I say clone this one into core courses as well, and it asks me should the course content be also cloned and the permissions be cloned as well. So we tick them as required. And then also additionally grant permissions defined parent, whether that should be checked. We say as defined in original, and we go save. So this has now gone and cloned the catalog under core courses, as you can see here. It will keep the same name and everything. And if we look at the catalog contents, we'll see the capstone is now showing up there as well. Going back to the home page again, if we go to browse the catalog, and we go into core programs, we see that catalog now showing up there, and then capstone is there. So what it has done is basically made a copy or clone of that catalog we had with all the permissions and have put it under core courses. Now, if we wanted to put it into the top course, we couldn't because the test catalog is already on the top level, and it would create a duplicate, so the system would not allow that. So it will have to be under one of the other catalogs. Or we could select one from under one of these main ones and then clone it back to the top, as long as it does not exist there. So that's how to clone catalogs and their contents. Looking at catalog configuration, although this says catalog configuration, it is more of setting up some of the default items that we require when we are creating courses. The catalog configuration menu can be found under Manage Center, Learning, called Catalog Configuration, and there are a few things that are available to be set up, and you can, once you have set these up, you can use these in the courses or learning modules. So one is categories. So if you're not using the catalogs list as a category, and you want category to be separate from how your catalog looks, you can create built-in some categories that you want to assign to courses. So over here, we've got a few already set up, like accounting and finance and things like that. So all you need to do is open up a course and then select a category like so. The other thing we can also create is subjects. So we can create a list of subjects that we can use when we are building a course. We have geographic regions that we can use when we are creating sessions. And we can have vendors to say which vendor has supplied the course. So all of these are lookup tables or lookup information that we can set up under catalog configuration and then use them as we require in the learning module setup. So over here, we've got subjects, we've got category, we can select a vendor, and all of those set up. If we wanted to set up a geographic region, it comes under session properties. We could, which is only available when we're doing face-to-face, of course. So let's say how to make coffee. We go over here. Over here, you see that in a face-to-face session, we've got the geographic region show up, and we can select the geographic region for that. Now, what the catalog configuration also allows you to do is add some module attribute categories, session attribute, transcript attribute. What this means is these are some informative fields that you can use to attach to modules, sessions, or transcripts. Now, it is similar to how you would set up extended user attributes in user profile. We will look at user extended attributes and all other user-related information when we do the webinar on users, which will probably be sometime next year. But in terms of adding extra fields to module attributes, we can add it here, so like that. We put a code. And saying module type, and we will make it a drop down. And we say that it is available in course description, all of these places for us to choose from. And then we can edit it to put the drop-down values. So the first option could be something like now once we have created this under learning modules, again opening up our module, we can see that that attribute has shown up, and we can choose. Now, in terms of reporting, you can use these attributes to report on learning modules, and you can run. You have to create report wizard reports to access these module attributes. The other one is session attributes. It's a similar kind of thing, only shows up under sessions. And then you have a similar thing for transcript attributes, which shows up in a user's transcript, records and transcript, or learning history. Depending on what version of NTS you are using, there's a new feature that's been added to it, which is called Transcript Status Manager, which allows you to add sub-statuses to the built-in ones that you're used to. So let's say we've got the completed status, which is the built-in one, but you wanted to categorize this completed status into two parts. Say one to say that completed and approved, and another one completed but pending approval. So all you do is add a substatus, say completed, approved, something like that, and we can create that. And now you see two sub-statuses. And if we go into learning module and session properties and give participants, I'll just enroll myself in just so I can change. Now, when I click on overall status change, you see there are two statuses that have appeared. One is completed, completely approved, and another is completed pending approval. So this allows you to create dynamic statuses that you can use to identify in what stage of their transcript the learner is currently at. So that's catalog configuration, and that finishes the catalog management part of this catalog management topic. And next, we've got repository management, where we will look at the repository manager, how we can change file and folder permissions, and how we can upload, replace, copy, cut files. So the repository manager can be accessed from the Learning menu under Manage Center, and you'll find Repository Manager there. Depending on how you have set your user role permissions, the Repository Manager can be accessed by learners from their homepage or from managers from their homepage as well. Now, basically, the Repository Manager used as a library or to store storage of files that you can use on the LMS. So if you are setting up a course where you want some reference resources, you would upload those resources to the repository and then select those resources into the courses from the repository. The same goes with certificate management as well, certificate templates. You can upload them to the repository and then select them in the certification manager. How to do that is in our support webinar number 3, or the part 2 of course administration, which you will find on YouTube. And so to create a repository on a repository manager, it works pretty much similar to how we would use our Windows file structure or creating files on a Windows machine. So you can create a folder and then you upload a file into it. So let's create a folder. You can type in a description if you want. And as soon as you create the folder, you'll see a permissions and properties options show up. With the permissions, you can, again, just like the catalogs, target who can see that folder and who would be able to access or modify those folders. Going back to repository, we see that our folder has been created. We go into that folder and we can upload a file. So let's say and again, after the upload's done, we have the same permissions and properties. Now, the difference over here, you notice that this is not allowing me to set any permissions for the file. In the folder permissions, we have to set folder permissions are inherited by subfolders, which means includes any folders that's created under the repository, under this particular folder, and also moves on to the files. Unchecking that will allow us to set individual permissions. Like so. See, it's now enabled. That's how we would set up a repository and upload files onto it. Now, you can, just like your Windows machine or your Mac, you can obviously copy files, cut them, and place it somewhere else. And what this also allows you to do is replace a file. So let's say you have a new version of this logo available, and you want it to upload it to the system. Normally, if you click upload, it would create a new file on the system. But if you have used this logo.png in different places on the system, you would not want to go and modify all of those courses or catalogs, wherever you have used it, to point to the new file. So in these cases, what we do is we use replace. So replace allows you to replace the file with a new one, any file, and then just uploads that new version, keeps the name change, and all the links to the file, there's a change, same, but the file itself version changes, and you can see the new version on wherever you have linked this. Now, on this left side here, you see all the folders. You see two sections here, personal folders and shared public folders. So personal folders only show up for the folders that you have created yourself, and any other folder that's on the system that has been shared or given permission for you to use show up under the shared public folders. Now, how would we select files from the repository? It's pretty straightforward. All you do is, let's say, we want to add a reference in the capstone course from a file that's in the repository. So we just go reference, add new reference, and you'll see this three dots. We select, it immediately goes into the repository. We go and select, and add. And that's pretty much it. Gone and added that to the repository, and we can do a pretty well. Yeah. So it's as easy as that. So usually any file that you'd want to set up or show up or insert into any objects in the LMS, be it courses, exams, or certificates, or catalogs even, would need to be uploaded to the repository, and then you can add them to those objects. Some objects, of course, do allow you to put external links, but it is always best to put them up on repository and use them from there. That brings us to the end of today's topics. This is the last for 2017. We will have more topics to discuss in 2018, and we're happy to receive your suggestions on what you'd like for us to show in the next webinars. As usual, send us your requests to the support ticket, and the URL is there, or you can email or phone your requests in. Our support contacts are on the screen now. I am the primary contact, so email me at ilatif@gvmedia.com.au for any support comments. Rebecca handles the account management, so that's rstevenson@gvmedia.com.au. And if you have further information that you need, you could also email Peter, phawkins@gvmedia.com.au. So I'm now ready to take questions. If there are any questions.
I've got a question, Ishti.
Caroline.
Yes, so when we were looking at creating categories and subjects and the catalogue, if you were enrolling people through the enrolment wizard, would you be able to select the subject or category to pull the courses from at that level, or would it have to be done through the other section of the
Okay, so categories and subjects, those are for courses only. Yeah. When I was enrolling, I was actually looking for users from that from us. That's another search area where you can search for users based on their roles or their organization. So that's different to how you would do the categories. Where the categories do come into play is, I will show you. In the search where we have got the catalog search, you can see that there are a few filters that show up here with subjects and things. So like if I selected, ultimate energy as the filter, you'll see only capstone shows up because that's the subject. So you can use these to search for courses, narrow your filters. Also, you can use these in your reports to narrow down, and also when you're creating report wizard reports.
but it wouldn't help you in Enrollment Wizard. So what we tend to do when we
No, in the Enrollment Wizard, you're actually looking for users.
no, but we're looking for courses as well in Enrollment Wizard. So what we tend to do is
I see. Okay.
someone's doing a whole series of different subjects,
from the
with us, it's quite detailed. Yeah.
I see. Okay, so that's from the manager's point of view, I suppose. Yes. So this is the screen you're talking about, I believe.
Yeah.
And yes.
Could they select like a catalog there, a category there, which we could then create a category for them of, new,
yes. So you can have
new hire
you can
modules,
use
and
the
then they'd have them all.
yeah. So you can use the extended attributes. You see the module type has shown up here, and for us to use and search for courses like capstone showing up. The subjects and the vendors and all the other ones do not show up in the search area, but the extended or custom module attributes do. So you can use that to narrow your searches when you're doing Enrollment Wizards.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. If there's no other questions, then thank you for attending the last of our 2017 webinars.